Welcome to the Changing Life and Destiny show, where we are highlighting the latest and greatest technologies to help to restore health, prevent disease, and promote wellness. Today, we have with us Kyle Zagrodzky from OsteoStrong. Kyle, thank you so much for being here with us on the show.
Absolutely brilliant. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, we wouldn't miss it. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Kyle.
Well, I've been a bootstrap entrepreneur my whole life, which is to say that I've always self-funded my own entrepreneurial ideas, and since I was really 18 years old. And so since then, I've created companies that have employed thousands of people around the world, bringing in well over $200 million in revenue. And then OsteoStrong concept idea came along, and that has really been my primary passion, probably one of the most fun and interesting things I've ever done in my life.
Wow. Okay, so why is it fun and interesting? What's the buzz? What brings you in?
A little bit, understand just a little bit how I got started. So I own a company that serves the health and wellness industry. It's a membership and billing platform for health clubs. And I was getting a lot of pressure to really start my own health club chain. And at the time, I was about 35 pounds heavier and suffered from chronic joint and back pain my whole life. I used to get migraine headaches every other week. I would be taking 15, 20 Advil a week, chiropractors, massage, this kind of thing. And I stumbled across Dr. John Jaquish, who was giving a lecture on this prototype, this technology he created. And I was fascinated by it, but I was afraid that no one would ever use it because it was so unusual in the way that it worked. It really only took just a few minutes of sweat-free effort one day a week. But the more and more I learned about it, the more and more I knew that he had identified a new industry, and what he needed was an entrepreneur like me to take it to the world. After 5 or 6 sessions, I was free of joint and back pain and was able to go work out and take better care of myself. I lost the weight and have no joint and back pain at all at 54 years old. So it's been an extraordinary journey. And so it's become my life mission to be able to give the gift back to as many people as I possibly can, which I've experienced just increased bone density, strength, balance, and joint and back pain in just this short once a week session that I do. And so it drives me in everything I do, and nothing is more fun than seeing the hundreds of testimonials that we get of people who've just had the similar kind of situations, or sometimes even more dire, who've come through it as a result of what we're delivering to the world.
Wow. So okay, let me back up a minute here.
Sure.
You're saying that there is a once a week, how many minutes did you say?
Well, people are in the center for about 15 minutes, but truth be known, the amount of effort that you actually put into a session takes about 60 seconds.
Oh my goodness. What?
Yeah, you could do a session how you're dressed right now. You won't break a sweat or get fatigued or sore the next day.
Wow, that is incredible. And especially in a world where this kind of technology, this kind of service is so needed, with everybody sitting so much of their life.
I'll tell you what, it's actually worse than that. So right now, there was a big meta-analysis study that was done a few years ago that identified the direct costs of just osteoporosis, of osteoporotic fractures in the United States, Canada, and all of Europe. That's about $5 to $6.5 trillion a year, and which is extraordinary. When you look at what our GDP is, that is overwhelming. But I read a study about a month and a half ago that people are seeing precipitous bone loss through after having COVID. Whether it was a mild or severe case, it's a radical drop in bone density. And so you add those two things together, and we really do need a solution to help people recover from what is actually coming, because if we don't take massive action, it's going to be detrimental to our society. And so I'm blessed with what I get to do, and that we can help people with increasing bone density, not only to deal with osteoporosis, but also what's happened because of COVID.
That's a wonderful thing to do, especially in this day and age. So I appreciate that very much. So when it comes to this is available to anyone. It does not matter if you're a health conscious consumer or a practitioner. So how do people find you? Are these centers everywhere? How do people get in touch and find out who you are?
Sure. We're now in 11, soon to be 12 countries. We have about 180 locations. and we're growing pretty quickly. So you just have to go to our website, osteostrong.me, and you can find locations, whether they're near you, and so it's very simple, easy to engage in process. And we offer several other like biohacking types of modalities alongside of what it is that we do. So if you want more of an experience or different outcomes or better outcomes, there's other stuff that we have there that you could engage in as well, and it's extremely affordable.
That's amazing. That is incredible. That is something that is accessible to everyone, and I'm going to be looking into it myself.
Well,
I think that's a really
there
good
is some
thing.
side effects. Not only is it going to increase bone density and reduce almost every type of joint and back pain you could imagine, but it also makes you a lot stronger. So the physical strength improvements and improvements in balance and agility are massive. In fact, I read a study that Bloomberg published last summer that showed that people over the age of 65 that couldn't confidently stand on one foot for at least 10 seconds had an 82% higher mortality rate over the next 10 years than their peers that could. At OsteoStrong, we see people come in, and one of the things that we test that we do is have people stand on one foot. We have people come in who are elderly who can't stand on one foot for 3 seconds, but after 5 or 6 sessions, they're standing on one foot for 20 seconds. And so when I think of just about that one stat alone, with the tens of thousands of members that we have, the improvements in balances, we've likely added over 100,000 years of life to the planet just in improving that one thing. So it's probably one of the most profound things you could do for your musculoskeletal system and physical development. It's truly extraordinary, and I'm humbled and blessed to get to lead this organization to people around the world.
Well, and not to mention the physical aspect of what improvements you can do, but I can just imagine that there's somebody that maybe this helps them from a mental health perspective as well, if they're receiving this extraordinary ability to increase something that they thought that maybe they've lost.
Yeah, that was me. Honestly, that was me. And when I was in early 40s, because I was overweight and I had so much joint and back pain and migraine headaches, my outlook for the future wasn't always that positive. I'm a pretty positive, hardworking, let's go visionary kind of guy. But when you're in pain all the time, you're just not seeing the future and the possibilities that are out there. And so we definitely see it's just really does improve people's outlook on their lives. And there's a saying from a verse from the Bible that says, "My people perish for they have no vision." When you don't have a vision for your future and you're not excited about the future, then it just leads to depression and lack of energy. And so you're absolutely right. It's one of those side effects that we don't market or advertise, but it's certainly an outcome that people are seeing when they come to OsteoStrong.
Absolutely, and a very, very important one. Well, we couldn't be more excited to link arms with you, Kyle, and OsteoStrong for this very important mission and this very big vision that we have to bring more of this technology to the world, and through our Changing Life and Destiny conference. So we're so excited to have you there. And if you are watching this at home and you're able to come and join us at the April conference, we would certainly love that. We would love to introduce you to OsteoStrong face-to-face, and you can experience some of their technologies at that conference. So Kyle, thank you so much for sharing your story and your vision and your mission, and thank you for linking arms with us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Stephanie. I appreciate the opportunity. Take care.
You too. Thanks, guys.